We're back at the Supercharger in St. George. After a day of fun around St. George, we made it back here, preparing to go home tomorrow. 27%, so we need a little juice tomorrow. And we're going good here, 137 there, at 150 kilowatt charger. That's pretty good. Let's see here, let's bring this down here. Navigate, let's see here. How about we bring those superchargers up? St. George, where? Mesquite, that's the wrong direction. Cedar City here. That's not very far. So even now with 29%, we will get there with 3%. So we don't need much charge. We just need a little bit, and then probably hit Cedar City and get whatever we need there. Tomorrow we'll see, but right now we're going over here and we're getting a Starbucks for a change. Haven't had a Starbucks in a while. So, but my daughter likes Starbucks and she's got an app and she gets points, so once in a while we gotta go and give her some points there. So that's what we're doing, and then tomorrow morning we have to get going early to go back home, 900 miles with a stop in Salt Lake at IKEA. So yeah, it'll be an early start, long day. $333, our room number. You get to see it on the day of leaving. Yes, we come in, got a little table. Yes, that's the wardrobe here. And right here we got the master, got a king bed, got a TV. Here's a closet, pretty big one. Got the master's bathroom with a fancy shower, a soaker tub, even got a linen closet here, don't know why, for vacation. And then the most important part, the throne, as well as a sink. And then almost straight across is the second bedroom. Got a queen size bed, also a TV, and it's got a closet and access to its bathroom, which got a little bathtub shower deal here. Got its own throne, important, sink and stuff. And then this has a door leading to the hallway. In the hallway we have other closet with some of the other stuff in here. Next to it we have stacked washer dryer, and then that leads us to the living area here. And behind this door here, that's a Murphy bed. And we got another TV, 3 TVs in here. We never ever turned one on. And then this is a fireplace, but in the summertime we don't need that. And then here we got the kitchen and dining area, and it is equipped with all the stuff you need. You even got a little dishwasher there. So, and then here that leads out to the balcony, where we got another table with some chairs. In there, that's like a utility closet or whatever, mechanical closet that is actually locked. And then over here we got the super fancy part. We actually have our own personal hot tub right here, so that's pretty cool. And a barbecue. So yeah, and right now there is not much of a view, but out here in the pitch dark, obviously there is nothing. Down this way is a pool, one of the 2 pools here in the resort. So a really nice resort. Got high ceilings in here. So it's beautiful, beautiful penthouse suite that we had here. really enjoyed our stay. But now it's time to go. Good morning, 4:10 a.m. We're about to leave here. 91%. And so we got 1,763 miles total at the 272 average until now. And I'm gonna reset this trip right now because I don't have another trip meter available. So I'm gonna reset trip A for the trip going home. And yeah, we are on our way. These are the chargers it shows for our trip home. There's 5 of them to make it home according to this. And our first charging stop according to this would be in Beaver, Utah. But we will adjust as needed or as we want to. We definitely have to stop in Salt Lake. So off we go. How many stalls do you need? Just one. First stop in Beaver, Utah. 30% left here. Was only 107 miles so far, but we're pretty high there in consumption, 369 watt hours per mile. It's been kind of an uphill battle, and we're here at this Beaver Supercharger, and this sucker is huge. There's a ton of charger. There's some more straight over there. They're still covered up, and we got a few behind us here where we're parking. I don't remember how many stalls this here is. Let's see. There we go. 24 stalls here, and they're all version 3, 250 kilowatts. So we'll plug in and see how long we need here. Let's see. It says here 15 minutes charge time before we can move on. So let's get plugged in. As always, this went super fast. We're already at 71%. Up here it shows enough charge to continue trip. So let's see here. Let's redo the navigation. See what it says. Okay, it wants to go to Nephi, and we should get there with 19% here in about an hour and 40 minutes or so. So let's unplug and get going. Up to 73% now as we're leaving. 21%. Arrived in Nephi, Utah. Estimated charge time 15 minutes here, and then we're probably gonna make it to Draper. We could pass that, but since we want to stop in Salt Lake, we might stop in Draper or at one of the other Salt Lake chargers. We still have to figure that out. Let's look real quick here. So we drove another 115 miles, used another 34 kilowatt hours at 298 watt hours per mile. So we came down a little bit on the average. And so far this morning we have done 222 miles, used 74 kilowatt hours. So we used the battery one time, and we're averaging 333 watt hours per mile. And it is now 7:23, and well, I guess we just gotta go back here and plug in. And here we go. It says 15 minutes remaining to continue trip, so we can make it to Draper. We'll see how high up it goes here. $135, so not too bad. It was preconditioning the battery on the way here. Now it shows 61 while driving. It was mostly about 55 degrees out, so it's not that hot yet, so it has to heat up that battery a little. So yeah, I'll be here at least 15 minutes and we'll go from there. So gotta do some planning here. We are at the Nephi Supercharger, which is over there, and well, we gotta go up to, there we go, Salt Lake. Let's turn this map around here. There we go. So let's bring the chargers back. Let's take that off. There we go. All right. So we are down here. And then this here will be the first supercharger in the Salt Lake area. And if we zoom in, there's 3 more right along the interstate. There's another one over here. So there's a whole bunch of chargers there. And somewhere in that area is IKEA that we're gonna go to. But we're a little early. We'll be there way too quick, so let's see if we do this one again. Draper, we are showing 8:30 arrival in Draper, so yeah, and the IKEA doesn't open till 10, so we need to waste 1 hour and a half, and then we need to deduct that from the trip. Also, we need to deduct the time we spent at IKEA from this trip, because that's not really part of the actual traveling time. So yeah, that's kinda unfortunate that we're too fast. So we could actually probably have left an hour later and still get there with plenty of time. So we'll see. We're just gonna make this short trip to Draper. Even though we wouldn't have to stop there, we could drive right through Salt Lake up to Tremonton and charge up there. So we're already done here. Here it says 40 minutes remaining. That means we have plenty to do the trip already. We're already almost at 60%, but we might as well sit here, or we can sit in Draper. We gotta sit somewhere, probably not even at a charger. We'll have to find out. And actually, if we look at this charger here is 44 cents a kilowatt hour. If we go to, oh, let's see here. Let's turn this around. If we go to somewhere here in Draper, so there it is 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. would be only 28 cents per kilowatt hour. So we could get there and actually charge cheaper there. So we might as well unplug here and get a little cheaper juice in Draper. So we're already at 61. Let's unplug. So we just made the 62, but well, we'll go up to Draper. At the Draper Supercharger, 36%, and it's going speedy fast here, 200 and 223 there. That's what it was, real quick. So going super fast. We don't need super fast because we have too much time. It's 8:44 now, so we only would have had to charge maybe an additional 5 or 10 minutes in Nephi, and then could have passed Salt Lake City completely, and just went up to Tremonton and charged up there again. So pretty much I would say 8:45, about 8:55, let's say 9 o'clock, we cut the time until we leave IKEA, so we can deduct that from the total travel time today. And we'll just sit here and probably go to 100%. We wouldn't need it, but we have the time, so we may do that. Also here it's a little cheaper, so we might as well take advantage of that as well. All right, we're loaded up and we are leaving IKEA. I am 98%. It's 11:36. Let's see here what it says, and it tells us to go to Pocatello, Idaho. So 3 more supercharger stops before we get home, and so we should be home by about 8 p.m. tonight if everything goes smooth. Oh, there it changed to 8:30, and it doesn't even know yet that we got all this stuff up here. So this will increase consumption, and so we probably have to make extra stops. But also with this stuff up here, we're probably going slower, so it will take longer no matter what. We bought a closet, We just have to get these 3 boxes now on top of the car. These 3 boxes are about 150 to maybe 180 pounds altogether. So it'll be a little chore, but we gotta strap them on top of the car. Sure enough, it didn't work out as planned the first time around, and we had to rearrange. There was too much weight on one of the bars, and we had to shift the weight. And sure enough, again, it didn't work out as well with all the weight in the center. Now both bars had basically too much weight and were flexing up there. And we had to shift it again and move it around and do it completely different again. But the third time was a charm. Made it to Pocatello. This is here behind this hotel, sandwiched between the interstate and the hotel. Here is this charger. It's got one pull in that's taken. So anyway, it estimates a 25-minute charge here, and then we can continue to Lima, Montana, which currently shows minus 44%. That means we need to get at least 50% more in here. We are at 14, so we gotta have at least 65 to 70% before we leave here. It would have been cool if we could have made it one further to Idaho Falls. But it was kind of, yeah, it showed 1% and it said if you keep the speed below 70, we could make it. It would have been really nice if we could have brought it down into the single digits. That would help calibrate the BMS, and, you know, because we had it at 100%, and actually in Draper we had so much time, I let it go. After it reached 100%, I let it calibrate. It kept on going for another 25 minutes or so before it finally completely quit. And so it was equalizing the battery cells during that time. And if we could have brought it down all the way or much further into the single digits here and then all the way back up, we could actually see where we're at with capacity and how much degradation we have. It kind of looks like we have a little bit of degradation. We came up, if I looked at the miles instead of percent, we came up to 285. This is rated at 310, which means we have less than 10% degradation at over 60,000 miles at this point. So all right, but now we gotta plug in. We haven't had lunch yet either. We had to, I don't know, can you see our load up here? It's spread wide now. We had to readjust the load 2 more times. Well, we loaded it up and then we had to adjust it 2 times to get this better balanced up here, so it's not rocking around and breaking anything. Neither the crossbars or the closet that we bought. So, but yeah, so we haven't had any food yet, and this here was, let's look at the stats here. So this the current trip, which was from actually that was past IKEA because we stopped again, was 171 miles. It was over 2 hours and 25 minutes at a 306 watt-hour per mile average. And since last charge that was in Draper, that was just before we went to IKEA, so from that charge to IKEA that was only like a mile or two, and we averaged for that whole thing 299 watt-hours per mile. So now the 306 is not too bad, considering we have this thing on top here. But I was going mostly, according to the speedometer, I was going mostly 77. Eventually, when we came out where the speed limit increased to 80, we went like 79, according to our speedometer. So we didn't go the usual 82 in the 80. So we've been a little bit slower, which may help conserve a little bit, but actually we didn't do too bad. So let's go take a quick look at what we got up here, how this looks now. So this is how this looks up here. We got 3 boxes, and we got a strap from the front to the back and 2 straps from side to side. And yeah, this seems to work pretty good here, so no big deal. And even efficiency didn't do too bad. And now let's plug in. There we go. Let's see how much we can get. Starting to charge. Maybe. Maybe. There we go. So 25 minutes, as we said, remaining to continue the trip. It didn't do any battery conditioning coming here, so I guess the battery is plenty warm. It is 91 degrees out here, so. And we're going up there, 132 kilowatts. That's not too bad. 133, there we go. This is a 150 kilowatt charger, so we're about okay with that. And yeah, so the girls are already out. They walked over that way, and I think down the hill there's a couple of restaurants, and I'll be going there too now. So, and then we'll be back whenever. We'll probably be more than 25 minutes, because it just takes longer than that to walk down there and get food and so on and so forth. So, well, I'll give you the stats again before we leave here, and then after that we'll get back into Montana, to Lima, Montana. We're definitely ready to go. Let's unplug. And so we are up to 85% already. It's 3:24 now, and we're ready to go to Montana, and we'll be stopping at the supercharger in Lima. Let's see here real quick. We supposedly should get there with 23% right now at 5:21, so another 2-hour drive from here. And there's another one coming, but we are leaving, so well, let's go. Lima, Montana to the next supercharger. And let's see here where we're at. We're down to 6%. And so since last charge we did 141 miles, used 52 kilowatt hours at an average of 369 watt hour per mile. Pretty high again. It was going uphill, and well, this thing up here sure didn't help. And so far on this trip home here, we got 618 miles, used 199 kilowatt hours at an average of 321 watt hours per mile. So, and this last trip here took us an hour and 56 minutes. So let's see here real quick if we do the navigation. There we go. It estimates a 25-minute charge, and then we can continue to Butte. So, and it says Butte minus 49 right now, so we gotta add at least 50%, so we probably need to be about 65-70% in order to get there safely. So let's plug in. So it's starting, it's telling us the 25 minutes again. And I believe those here are 150 kilowatt chargers, so we should be right up there. There we go, about 128 kilowatts, 129, it's still going up. 130. Yeah, so we're about up there where we need to be. There, it's still trying to climb a little bit, so well, we'll let it go for 25 minutes and go from there. Well, I guess we can leave. It says enough charge to continue trip. We're down at 36 kilowatts only here, so it's going pretty slow. And it will go another 25 minutes to the charge limit of 100%. We're at 86%, and it tells us here, right there, we would arrive in Butte with 29%. So I think we'll take off and see if we can make it to Butte. To Butte it is 113 miles, about an hour and a half. We should be there at 7:30 tonight. Made it to the Butte Supercharger. Arrived with 22%. Here it's a little bit cooler, 76 degrees. It's almost 7:30 here. It says we got 20 minutes to charge here, so we can make it to Missoula. But then it says we need to charge 10 minutes in Missoula. We don't want to do that necessarily, so we'll see how this charging goes, how fast, and then decide if we stay here a couple extra minutes or if we actually drop this here, because it says we would arrive at home at 26%. We can arrive at home with a lot less than that, but let's get plugged in. It did do some battery preconditioning, so we should get decent speed here, and we're starting out at about 112 kilowatts. So that's not too bad, but it could be a little more. Let's look at the trips. Right there. So since the last charge we did 113 miles, 43 kilowatts at 379 watt hours per mile. So these boxes up here making the car a little thirsty. The total trip today, 731 miles so far, 241 kilowatt hours used, and an average of 330 watt hours per mile. So we got another 150 miles to go roughly, so we'll see. It says here 20 more minutes of charging. It is going pretty slow here. We're below 50 kilowatts. It does say we would arrive with 15% in Missoula, so I think we get going. If desperately needed, we'll add a few percent in Missoula because it will go much faster than this here. It will go at least double the speed, so we'll unplug and get going because it's almost 8 o'clock already. Left, plenty. So we passed the Missoula Supercharger with 21%. No need to stop there whatsoever. Now let's see here. Holy moly. Since last charge here we got 151 miles, 48 kilowatt hours used at 318 watt hours per mile. Total distance driven 882, almost 900 miles, 289 kilowatt hours total energy. That is what, almost 4 times the battery, with that a 328 watt hour per mile, which is pretty high, because if we look at the lifetime total, that's 293. So yeah, all right, it is now 10:13, 66 degree, nice and comfy here. But 10:13, so that makes it basically 410 we left, I believe. So it's 10:10. That is 18 hours total. We had about 3 hours IKEA. I gotta go through the footage and look at the times, but I believe it's been about 3 hours, which would make a total actual drive and charge time of 15 hours, which is perfect. I mean, I believe that's what we had going down, that's what we had coming up, so perfect. Well, I gotta go through all the footage and get all the details out, and then we'll go from there. But now, first, I'm going to bed because I'm really tired after being up for that long and driving for that long. We still gotta get that closet off real quick so we can lay it on a flat floor inside the house. But then definitely I'm gonna lay flat in the bed. So, and then I'll come back and give you the details. After getting some sleep and going through all the footage and getting the stats, well, I got it together, I think. So, I got my notes right here. The way down from home to St. George, we clocked 876 miles. And on the way up, we clocked 882 miles. So just 6 miles difference, no big deal. So pretty accurate, actually. We had that little detour to the Starbucks with the chargers on the way down, and we had the little detour to IKEA on the way up, and that's included in each one of those numbers. On the way down, we used 251 kilowatt hours. On the way up, we used 289 kilowatt hours. So we used a bit more going up, a significant amount. I mean, 38 kilowatt hours more is quite a bit. That's a half a battery. And that probably has to do with the consumption mainly. On the way up, we had the closet on the roof, these boxes, they didn't help. And that also shows in our average consumption, which was 286 watt hours per mile on the way down and 328 watt hours per mile on the way up. So significantly more going up as from Salt Lake City on to home, which is about 500 miles. So more than half of the trip, we had those boxes on the roof. Then charging, I was hoping I could compare the pricing between Supercharger and Electrify America. But unfortunately, since Electrify America's chargers don't work right, and yeah, well, maybe actually not unfortunately, maybe it was fortunately that they didn't work right, because we didn't get charged for, I don't know, more than half of what we got from those chargers. So in one place there, it was charging us the rate for below 50 kilowatts. The first charging in Butte didn't charge us it didn't cost us any money. It charged the car, but it didn't charge our credit card, so it didn't cost us any money. And so on and so forth. So we only paid Electrify America $48.10, I think, on this trip down. But yeah, most of it is missing there. Also, what's missing on the trip down is the charging here at home, because we filled the car up here at home before we left. And at our rate here at home, that is only about $6-7 or so that we put in, $8 maybe. So not a significant amount. On the way up though, I have included the supercharger in St. George, where I filled up the day before or the night before we left. And I have all the superchargers on here, and that total was $113.10.
So, and that is probably an accurate number for a trip like that. So you could say about $110 to $120 in cost for charging for 882 miles. So that is not bad at all. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, when you fill up a car and you got to go that many miles, and you carry a bunch of stuff here, boxes on the roof, yeah, your gas guzzler will be a guzzler too. And so it's not bad at all, I would say. Also, travel time on the way down, we had 15.5 hours. And on the way up, we had 15 hours. So I took the extra time out that we spent at IKEA and loading up and rearranging the loads. That altogether is about 3 hours that I took out of there. But I did leave charging time in Draper right there next to IKEA. So there's some of that charging time is in there. And so that comes all together about accurate what it would be even without that IKEA stop. So again, it's very comparable. They're about half an hour apart. Obviously, the travel time includes charging time. Charging time was anywhere from about an hour and a half to 2 hours, roughly, on that trip. It's a little bit hard to tell, especially on the way down. The actual charging time, again, I can't look it up in the stats because Electrify America did not record half of it or whatever, right? So that's a little tough to do. Also, Electrify America's charger took forever to initiate pretty much everywhere, and we had to redo it. So that took a little bit of extra time. So I'm actually really inclined to say the half an hour that we had more going down is because of Electrify America, of their chargers, because of all this time to initiate the charging. Because with the superchargers, we didn't have a single issue. It's a matter of getting out, plugging in, and so then it charges. It takes about 20 seconds total between plugging in and until it actually starts charging at a supercharger. And it takes like 5 seconds to unplug. So I'm inclined to say that actually it took longer going down because of issues with the Electrify America chargers. The Electrify America chargers, on the other hand, usually could charge at a faster rate because they were 350 kilowatt, most of them anyway, while most of the superchargers were 150 kilowatts. So we should have been faster, definitely, with Electrify America. And if that just would work the way it's supposed to, and it would initiate immediately and not be like super extra slow. I mean, just using the app takes so much time, and you got to go find the number on the charger, and it's just not convenient. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. The supercharger network is plug and play, and I don't know why Electrify America could not be plug and play for the members. I mean, we have an account with them, and we even paid for the Pass Plus for this trip. And I don't know why, like, Pass Plus members or could not put their car information in, and it could just be plug and play. So I get there, I plug in, it recognizes the car, and so on and so forth. That's how it's supposed to be, I think. I don't know why that's not, I don't know. It's beyond me. It's just software. It doesn't even require really anything else besides software. So it should be easy to do. So now all that said, obviously we did pretty good. I believe Google told me like 14 hours driving time, and Google doesn't overdrive an electric car, and they said it said 14 hours. We got in just about 15 and a half hours. So we did pretty good because our charge time was about, yeah, it was about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max in that trip. So our actual driving time would only have been like 13 hours. So I think we did pretty good, and the Nephi is not really slowing us down. It was probably maybe we were slowing the EV down because usually it charged too higher than what we really needed to get to the next charger or to our destination. So we were usually too slow with getting our lunch or coffee or whatever. So the car was waiting on us instead of we on the car. There was a couple times where we just had to wait, like in Lima, Montana. We didn't need food, we didn't need drink. We were just there and waiting for the car to charge. So that happens too. But it's not necessarily inconvenient because you can get out and walk around and stretch your legs a little bit. And it makes for an actual more relaxed and healthier drive. So yeah, easily possible to do long distance trips with an electric car, no doubt about it. And so yeah, if you want to see more of that, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. If you haven't seen all our videos, previous videos, go back and look at those. We have lots of travel videos, driving in the middle of winter in snowstorms under extreme conditions. We have summer driving videos, we have driving videos in the national park. We got all kinds of different stuff. We did some tests, and especially in the winter time, in regards to batteries and things, how they are and they act, and how the car does when it sits in the cold, how a car does when it sits 10 days in the winter time. All the stuff that, you know, one can test here in Montana. So make sure you're subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up. Give every other video that you watch a thumbs up, please. And go down into the description. Click on our Redbubble store link. Go look at that. There's some cool t-shirts and other things, you know, inspired by electric cars and sustainable energy. So this will be a really great way to support our channel a little bit. We don't make really much money on it, but hey, a little bit, and you could show off that you're going with the future. You're already there. You're not behind like so many others, and you have sustainable transport, and you like sustainable transport, and so on and so forth. So in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.